Today we're back reading about some more entitled people, and it's going to be so fun. It's probably going to be a pretty frustrating episode, as it usually is, and I hope you're ready for this, guys. I'm not going to waste any time today. It's a beautiful day, and we've got a lot of entitled people to read about. Enjoy, guys. My sister-in-law got a new engagement and wedding band, and it's the exact same one as mine. My sister-in-law copied my engagement ring, and I'm trying not to get pissed off. My sister-in-law has always hated me. From the moment I got with my now husband, her husband's twin, she's always hated me. The first thing she ever said to me was that I'm the longest-lasting girlfriend, and since that day, there's been this weird unspoken competition where she's always trying to belittle me, make me feel small and insecure. At first, it used to work, but now it just pisses me off. She bragged about seeing my husband, boyfriend at the time, naked before. She's made comments about my sister's marriage unnecessarily. She's just jealous or something and always has something to say to demean me. She goes and changes into outfits that match mine and literally copies me in everything. Well, me and my husband got married recently and he bought me a new ring because of our new journey in life, because we'd grown so much. And then today I went to my mother-in-law's house to celebrate someone's birthday, and she's here with my husband's twin. I look at her and she copied my ring exactly. My husband bought me a new 5-carat pair rose gold double halo ring, and she has the exact same one. I'm so angry. Added note, she's also copied our other sister-in-law's engagement ring. My husband has 7 brothers, and the eldest got married first, and then she did, and then she had the exact same ring as that girl too. So I know this behavior isn't random or a coincidence. I'm trying to contain myself because it's not a big deal, and it's just materialistic things, but I'm fuming and I'm so annoyed. I don't want to talk to her at all at this trip. Should I confront her or just leave it? Edit, I was with my husband and his twin, and I asked him, oh, I saw so-and-so got a new ring. He explained that he got her a ring because they've been together for 5 years, and allegedly a new ring is what you would give someone on the 5-year mark. Oh, right, okay, so they updated their wedding ring right after they saw your wedding ring? Yeah, that's not sus at all, is it? Not to mention, it's the same bloody ring. Are they like seeking your approval or something? Why would they do that? He kinda wasn't making sense and kept on stuttering. He did admit that he didn't even buy it, but then backtracked and said that he bought the ring and the wedding band separately. I thought it was all so weird and kinda didn't make sense, and I easily transitioned the conversation to something else. Right, so as if your sister-in-law just told them to get this. I'm not as angry, but more so just like, who wants to have the same ring as someone else in your family? Like, wouldn't you want something unique? But it is what it is. Our wedding bands will look completely different. Edit number 2, just got him and feeling so down because I've been dealing with her crap for 6 years, and now she wants to copy my ring and belittle me about being a mum and wanting kids now that she has her own. I was super nice today and I interacted with her and I joked, and looking back on it, I hated it and I wished I would have continued to give her the cold shoulder. I really don't know how to navigate this relationship anymore, and we're supposed to be spending the holiday at her house, and I'm about to just stay home by myself since I know my husband will likely go. I know this seems dramatic, but goodness gracious, I've been nothing but kind to her and only confronted her once, which resulted in me being in the wrong because I should have just left it alone, and now I'm sick of it. Really sick of it. Yeah, right. It makes it pretty hard because it's your sister-in-law, but it sounds like they're awful to you, and you don't need somebody in your life that treats you like this. I'd be as low contact with them as humanly possible. So everyone has been asking for an update. Here are a few things. Why this upsets me is because she's been bullying me since I got into the family, and it's annoying for me to share a ring with someone who's been bullying me for so long. On top of the fact that I personally believe that your engagement and wedding ring should be unique to your relationship, and it's annoying that she has no sense of originality. Oh god, they're sounding even more awful every paragraph. I talked to my husband about it. We actually argued until he understood, but it's now agreed that I'm just not going to talk to her. She literally isn't worth talking to, and after further thinking and reflecting, she waits for me to talk to her. She doesn't even engage with me after the initial hello. She just stares at me the majority of the time, waiting for me to acknowledge her, and I don't know why, but I'm just gonna hover around my husband because she's kind of afraid of him. But overall, she just completely stares at me when we're together, which I think is weird. So I'm assuming she's low-key watching my every move, which is just weird. I won't confront her because the minute she catches an attitude, it'll be an immediate argument and fight. On Saturday during dinner, I'd asked her if she was participating in other activities with us, and she got an attitude randomly. They sound so immature because I was confirming that she didn't want us buying any extra tickets. My husband bought her the second activity his twin twin paid for dinner. She immediately got an attitude with me for no reason, and I almost snapped at her, but my husband grabbed my hand and answered for me. He confirmed that her attitude was unwarranted, and if I were to confront her, the attitude would set me off, so I'm not saying anything to her. Added this real fast. I've also reflected, and she thrives off me talking to her. Unless I'm asking her about her life and kinda kissing ass, she's in an amazing mood and so happy to brag and lie. So I think that killing her with kindness, which I have been doing, only makes her feel better, so I'm gonna act as if she doesn't even exist, and when she does talk to me, it'll be very bland and bored with our conversation. I am debating between getting my ring customized. We have a jeweler friend who could customize it for us. Not sure if I want to do it or not. I just like to have something original and my own, but that is still up in the air. I've also realized that she's a compulsive liar. I was reflecting on a conversation we had that same night, and we were talking about her pregnancy with our mother-in-law. She mentioned how her placenta was 20 pounds, and I was genuinely shocked because what the hell, I didn't know that. She made me out to look dumb by saying, yeah, you clearly don't know anything about placentas. I would know since I'm a nurse. Oh, so annoying. She's not a nurse, she's a CNA. I googled it yesterday, and placentas usually are no bigger than 3 or 4 pounds, so why she felt the need to say that is beyond me, and why she felt the need to make me look stupid when her information is beyond inaccurate is beyond me. I would love some opinions there, because why lie about that? That's such a weird thing to lie about. In conclusion, she's crazy and extremely insecure and is unhappy with herself and her marriage. She bullied her husband and everybody knows it. She's a compulsive liar and doesn't like me for some reason, which is fine. I'm gonna start acting like she doesn't exist. The only reason I tried being nice to her constantly is because everyone in the family doesn't like her and wish the other twin didn't marry her, so I didn't want her to feel alone, but screw it. She can happily be ostracized and ignored because I'm the only person, aside from my mother-in-law and her husband, who gives her even an ounce of attention. I think she's miserable, and that has nothing to do with me, and the more I talk to her, the more ammo she can receive. I do understand this is a first world problem, lol. I just wanted to vent. The Kim people are dying comment made me laugh, and I also realized I shouldn't put so much energy and emotions into something so small. I had my time to be annoyed and upset about it, but thank you all for listening and reading me rant and vent. As for grey rocking, my husband is very private and only his mum knows what's going on in our life, and barely that. She did buy a house recently, so I'm intrigued to see how she decorates it, since she has no self-identity and me and my husband were the first to buy a house. I've blocked her on my Instagram stories and I've removed her from close friends, but I can't really stop posting on social media because that's my job, but I'm going to be more careful about what I share. I think that's everything. Thank you all so much for your words and kindness and advice. I appreciate it. Wow, how unbelievable. They sound so toxic, like beyond toxic, and they're obviously trying to get under your skin as well. Yeah, I feel like ignoring them is the best idea here. Like the top comment says, don't even mention it, just never even notice it. It'll drive her nuts. And as soon as you do that, they'll be like, why aren't they paying attention to me? Like I went out of my way to be awful and toxic, and they don't even care. What they described in this sounded so immature. Like, is this drama from when you're a teenager or something? Come on. You're an adult. Why are you acting like this? But yeah, 100% just seem very disinterested and like you don't even care, because they're definitely trying to get a reaction out of you or trying to make you feel bad. And yeah, don't give it to them. Story number 2 is called Lady at the Checkout Wanted to Go in Front and Didn't Like Being Told No. Short and sweet, because this is a little bit lame and probably only slightly less common than airplane seat switch requests. Shopping at BJ's, like Costco but a much funnier name. One evening a couple of weeks ago, the shop took longer than usual, so I was in danger of holding up dinner with the family. At the checkout, there was a little bit of a delay in front, but I was just scrolling Reddit for the extra 10 minutes. There was no one behind me as I started loading my items on the belt. Then a lady 60 plus approached and said, "Can I go before you as I only have a few items?" 99% sure she didn't say please. Meanwhile, trying to pile her approximately 20 items into the cart's kitty seat, I guess to make it look like a smaller amount. Context, I had approximately 25 items, but some were larger, so it may have looked more. No, I'm sorry, I've been waiting for ages. The ice cream is melting and I'm in a rush to get home. Oh, screw you, she said. What? There are free tills over there, I said, gesturing to the self-checkout and man till, now empty yards away. Nobody tells me what to do. Screw you, she said. Oh, F off, you old hag, I said. No idea where old hag came from. Not usually in my vocabulary. Gave my wife a chuckle when I told her. Wasn't totally sure about posting here or am I the a-hole? Well, if you did put it on am I the a-hole, you definitely would not be the a-hole. They were being so unnecessarily mean, like confusingly rude, you know? Like, how are you having this reaction right now? You're upset because I'm not gonna let you you go before me, and that's completely reasonable, and you're responding as if it isn't. And I bet they do stuff like this all the time, and they probably get away with it like a lot. And the second that somebody doesn't let them go first, they're like, what? How dare you? This is an outrage. I will be unnecessarily rude to you for absolutely no reason. Story number 3 is called Karen at the Baggage Claim. This one came from my husband, who doesn't have a Reddit account, but gave me permission to share. As my husband is at the baggage claim, waiting patiently for his suitcases, he sees a woman sit down with a huff and what looks to be her daughter toward the baggage carousel. Mama Karen begins to shout orders to her daughter. Make sure you get all our luggage. Don't forget your sisters. Look sharp, you'll miss them. And other things along this line. The poor daughter calls back. I know what they look like. I have this, Mum. Mum continues to call instructions until suddenly she begins yelling. About 6 identical black bags came out at once. Daughter, you missed sister's bag. Daughter says no, it's not hers. Mama Karen then jumps off her perch, stomps over to the carousel and grabs a suitcase. I'll prove this is hers, and proceeds to open the suitcase and pull out a very lacy bra. Mama Karen then begins to yell, when did sister get this you know what thing? By this point, sister shows up and begins yelling at her mum, that's not my bag, what's wrong with you? Mama Karen then takes the bag, still unzipped, and chucks it back on the conveyor belt, and then huffs back to her seat. Husband's bag arrives and he leaves, feeling very sorry for those two girls. Yeah, imagine living with somebody like this. That's so infuriating. The fact that they have the audacity to open somebody else's luggage, take stuff out of it, and then not even do it back up. And not to mention the rest of this, and also to be acting like this in public. Yeah, so bad. Story number 4 is called Entitled Extended Family Expected Me to Make Entire Holiday Meal. For holidays, my family usually takes turns hosting and it's potluck. We call each other, decide on a menu, where and what time, and decide who brings what. Everyone contributes. Over the years, we bought a house. One sister, call her Alice, not her real name, got divorced. Another family couldn't host because too small. So the last couple of years, it's been falling on us and my other sister, call her Carol, to host it over and over because your houses are better for large gathering. Okay, for now. But a couple of years ago, it got too much. We all decided on day and time, etc. as usual. However, Carol got called about a week early saying that she can't bring any food because I have an important appointment and won't have any time to cook. So I said, okay, Carol usually cooks a lot of stuff, so I didn't mind this one time she honestly couldn't. I'll take over what you can't make this year, except the vegetarian entree. She made a lentil dish every year, so the time for the meal arrives and nobody's there. My sister, who can't cook because of an appointment, showed up 30 minutes late and said that her appointment had actually been cancelled and she still didn't bring one thing to contribute. She then said she arrived late because she had talked to Alice, who said that she was arriving even later. I called Alice and she said that her daughter had just started cooking the potatoes and she lives an hour away and infamously always late in the family. So Alice with niece arrived 3 hours late with the mashed potatoes, and Alice made the salad in my kitchen when she arrived. One nephew arrived 2 hours late with a bag of salad greens from the store. Another one arrived 3.5 hours late and then started cooking vegan burger patties on the stove for only himself. One brother that lives with us didn't contribute either. I ended up cooking 100% of the meal that I ate, so we ate with who and what was there at 30 minutes late when we realized that everyone else wasn't coming for hours. The food that was brought later was only eaten by the few that were there because of the 11 people coming had eaten already. No apologies for being late and disrespectful. No apologies for not bringing something to contribute after the appointment cancelled. Nothing. All the work of house cleaning and preparation and buying food for 12 to 15 people, even if it's just my menu items, dinner prep and cooking and after dinner cleanup, too much. I felt entirely taken advantage of, and I sent a message the day after that I am never hosting again, and the rest of them need to make alternative arrangements for future holidays. The next holiday, they called to make plans and they were shocked that I said no to participating in the dinner. Said we were just going to have our own dinner with only my immediate family. So much less stress. While arguing about it with Alice, I explained exactly what happened and why I've stopped, and she said something like, okay, I see your point of view, and we really didn't think anything of it. You always do it. Yeah, that's the problem. Since then, the rest of the family have just had holiday dinners in 1s and 2s by themselves. I still get inquiries if we're going to be hosting, and then I turn around and ask them if they're going to be hosting. Always a no. Yeah, that's so frustrating. And yet the fact that they don't think about it and you always do it, that's half the problem there, because they're ungrateful. Like, oh yeah, they're going to do it. It'll be okay. It doesn't even matter if we're 3 hours late, and then to not apologize for being late. Yeah, that's so rude. And it's so fair enough that you don't want to do this ever again. Story number 5 is called The Entitled Gardener. I went to a party for one of my wife's workmates during the mid-90s. I was at the bar getting a beer when I met the husband of the woman having the party. I'll call him G for short. And during the usual first meet chit chat, I asked him what he did. Big mistake. G, I'm a gardener, but don't ask me to do your garden, okay? Me, okay, trying to figure out if he was serious or making a joke. G, yeah, I mean it. I'm not coming to your house to do your garden. I'm not coming to your house to help you with new plants. I'm not coming to your house to give you gardening advice. I'm not coming to do your landscaping. I'm not coming to your mate's house or your dad's house. I'm not going to anyone else's house to do their gardens. As soon as I say I'm a gardener, mate, all I get is, can you do my garden? Can you mow my lawns? Can you plant some trees for me? Can you look after my mum's garden? Can you do this? Can you do that? That's all I hear, so before you even ask, I'm just going to stop you there, okay? I'm paraphrasing as I can't remember exactly what he said, but he went on and on about it. Okay, thinking it was a good time to move on and meet someone else. G, what do you do? Me, I'm an electrician. G, can you wire up my shed? I need lights and some PowerPoints. I was trying to figure out again if he was joking or serious, because if he was joking, it was a pretty good one. But no, he was serious? No way. I told him I'm a bit busy and then I moved away. I managed to avoid him for the rest of the night. How were they being serious after everything they said? If I was in that situation, I would have burst out laughing. That's hilarious and so unhinged. The next one is called Entitled Barista. So I get coffee in the mornings every day from one of my favorite places near my work. Been doing it for years. I know most of the people there, but obviously they have a high turnover given the current economy and situation. One day I'll walk in to get my coffee, which is only a 5-minute ordeal. I have a very demanding job, so I have to be at work at 7 a.m. sharp if I even want to get started with the day. So there's a new barista there this morning who's happily chatting up a storm with what appears to be one of her friends who is also getting coffee in front of me. I politely and quietly stay in line for about 15 minutes until she briefly acknowledges me. I don't want to be that guy that yells at people to get going or anything. A little more time passes by and I decide, screw this, I'm gonna leave. And I'll walk out back to my car and I head to work. I can always get coffee later. Before you say I'm a pushover, I can tell you my work requires a lot of confrontation and I try to save my energy for situations that I feel are actually worth the energy. Going Karen mode on this girl would probably not be productive, so I left. The very next day I walk back in and it's the same barista, but with a very annoyed look when she sees me. I order my coffee and I wait for it on one of the tables. When she calls me back to get my coffee, she all of a sudden goes ballistic on me and tells me, you know you got me in a lot of trouble yesterday, don't you? Flabbergasted by her reaction, I could only answer, what do you mean? She states, well, yesterday when you walked out without even waiting a couple of minutes for me to get to you, my manager saw you and told me that I couldn't do that, especially to long-term clients. You almost got me fired, you know? That is absolute BS. How can people be so entitled these days? So instead of taking accountability for their own mistake, they blame you for this? The customer who bloody didn't do anything? That's so bad. Imagine not taking responsibility for something that you did and getting angry at a customer that you don't even know. So immature and so unprofessional. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to respond to something like this. A customer walked into the coffee shop ready to order a coffee and you stand there talking to your friend for 15 minutes without even acknowledging the customer, and now you're acting like the other person did something wrong. I can't get over how frustrating that is, and good on the manager for saying something, but obviously it didn't work because they don't think they can do anything wrong. Oh, how annoying. If that happened to me, I would have been in complete disbelief. Like, how do you feel like you're right in this situation? So entitled. And yeah, I feel like it's about time we read something wholesome. That's enough entitlement for today. I hope you had a wonderful time, guys. When someone let you cross the road, yeah, thank you for not continuing to drive. I really appreciate it. You're far too kind. I love little moments like that. It feels like you're making a friend. Some rare mice can have golden fur. Some even rarer mice can have wavy golden fur. This is a shiny Pokemon. Yeah, what? That's so cool. And that's a real thing. That's so cute. It has the most luscious looking golden hair. I feel like this mouse is in a shampoo commercial or something. That's adorable. Yeah, look what my dad just said about my mum. Your mother is such a powerful soul that even the daffodils lean towards her instead of the sun. Oh, that's so beautiful. Seeing people in love like this is so sweet. And yeah, on that very beautiful note, I'm going to leave today's episode there. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you had a wonderful time. And if you did and you want to see more entitled people, make sure you like and subscribe. And the comment of the day today goes to Sylvia. I love Am I the A-hole? You never know what turn the story takes. It's a bit like opening presents from family members. They can be really good or really horrifying. Yeah, that's so true. And sometimes they seem like they're going to be horrifying, but they're actually awesome. The Am I the A-hole stories, I mean. Yeah, I love that subreddit too. Every time we go go on there. It's such an adventure. And yeah, I'm happy that you guys enjoyed the episodes too. Okay, I'm out of here. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!